It's a rainy Tuesday evening in Tokyo. Neon lights flash. Suddenly, all major Japanese networks break into regular programming with a dramatic headline: New anime movie, Sky Spirits breaks world box office record. The anchor's voice trembles with excitement. Social media goes wild. Hashtags, like hashtag Sky Spirits and hashtag Anime World Domination Trend, worldwide. The city seems to pause as fans gather in Akihabara, the heart of otaku culture, to celebrate. This isn't the first time Japanese pop culture has stunned the globe. In 2023, the J-pop group YOASOBI performed at Coachella, sending shockwaves through Western music circles. The world watched as their performance racked up millions of YouTube views in just a few hours. News outlets from CNN to NHK covered the frenzy, highlighting Japanese pop culture's growing influence. The news scene is electric. Reporters interview teary-eyed fans and industry experts. Some call it a cultural revolution. Others question the sudden rise. One thing is clear: Japanese pop culture has captured global attention, and the news media just can't look away. The excitement sets the stage for a deeper look into how news stories, both in Japan and abroad, frame anime, manga, and music. The headlines are just the beginning of a much larger conversation. Japanese pop culture is everywhere in the news. From anime trends on NHK to Western magazines featuring manga and J-pop idols, the media loves these stories. But not all coverage is positive. Some focus on pressures, long work hours, or controversy. In the end, the media shapes how we see Japanese pop culture, highlighting both the glitz and the grit. Pop culture in Japan isn't all fun and games. Take the 2024 controversy around Oshi no Ko, an anime about the idol industry. Some praised it for exposing harsh truths, others called it exploitative, saying it glamorized celebrity obsession. News outlets picked up the debate, interviewing creators, critics, and fans. The story was everywhere, sparking heated discussions online and on talk shows. Another hot topic is censorship. In early 2025, lawmakers proposed stricter rules for manga, targeting stories they felt were too violent or risque for young readers. Fans and artists pushed back, fearing creative freedom would be lost. The media showcased both sides, worried parents and passionate manga artists. Editorials debated the need for protection versus the value of artistic expression. Even music isn't safe from drama. There was uproar when a J-pop agency was accused of overworking its stars. News reports exposed grueling schedules and lack of privacy. Some fans defended the tough environment, saying it built character. Others demanded reform. These controversies show that Japanese pop culture is more than colorful entertainment. It's a battleground for values, rights, and identity, played out in the media spotlight. Walk through Shibuya after a big anime release and you'll see long lines at theaters and people dressed as their favorite characters. On Twitter, Japanese fans post excited reviews and share memes. There's real passion here. Many see anime and manga as part of their daily life. Fans buy merchandise, visit themed cafes, and travel for special events. The news often interviews ordinary people, capturing their voices and reactions. But not everyone is enthusiastic. Some parents worry about the impact of pop culture on their kids. They complain that manga can be too graphic or that idol culture is just too intense. These voices appear in letters to editors and on TV debates. Society is split. One side sees pop culture as a creative treasure, the other as a possible threat. There are even generational divides. Older Japanese sometimes dismiss anime as childish. Younger generations, though, embrace it as cool and modern. The media highlights these clashes, showing how pop culture pushes boundaries and challenges old ideas. Public response is a mix of excitement, concern, and pride. The way fans react and how the news tells their stories reveals just how deeply pop culture is woven into the fabric of Japanese life. Outside Japan, the fascination is just as strong. When Demon Slayer Mugen Train topped the US box office, American news called it a cultural phenomenon. European headlines praised Japanese creativity, and fans in Brazil organized these massive watch parties. Social media exploded with fan art and reaction videos showing, the world's love for all things Japanese. Japanese pop culture is now a bridge between countries. People in France read manga in cafes. Australians follow J-pop charts. Korean idols even cover Japanese songs. The news covers these trends, often with a sense of wonder. Reporters marvel at how anime and manga cross language barriers and inspire young people everywhere. There are challenges, too. Sometimes cultural misunderstandings pop up. For example, Western fans might misinterpret anime storylines or miss subtle Japanese jokes. News stories explore these gaps, asking how much Japanness is lost in translation. Debates continue online, with fans from all over the world chiming in. Global attention brings both fame and pressure. Japanese creators now have to think about a worldwide audience. The media's spotlight can help, or sometimes, it can make things even more complicated. Censorship is a pretty heated topic in Japan. In 2025, new government policies tried to limit certain themes in manga and anime. The news was just full of expert opinions. Some folks said the laws would protect children, while others warned they would stifle creativity. The debate wasn't just in the newspapers, it spilled onto social media, sparking thousands of tweets and, honestly, some pretty heated comment threads. Artists and writers even held public rallies. They argued that manga is an art form, not just entertainment. I remember one famous manga artist saying in a televised interview, "Let us draw what we want." Parents groups, on the other hand, countered by saying some stories crossed the line. The news captured these clashes, giving both sides a platform. Some foreign fans were a bit confused by the whole debate. They wondered why Japan, known for daring stories, would start to limit its artists. News outlets tried to explain the cultural context, but misunderstandings definitely remained. These issues really show how complex cultural values can be when pop culture goes global. The fight over censorship isn't finished. The media keeps the debate alive, showing just how deeply people care about freedom and responsibility in Japanese pop culture. For many Japanese, pop culture is more than just fun. It's a way to connect, to escape, and even to challenge the status quo. Anime and manga offer new worlds and ideas, while J-pop gives young people idols to look up to. The news often covers how these trends bring people together, at concerts, conventions, or even just online. Pop culture is also big business. The anime industry alone is worth billions. Manga magazines fill entire floors of bookstores. Idol groups sell out stadiums and move mountains of merchandise. News programs report on these successes, pointing to economic growth and national pride. But, there's another side. Some critics think Japan relies too much on pop culture. They worry it distracts from deeper issues, like work pressure or social isolation. News stories sometimes echo these fears, interviewing experts who urge a balance between fantasy and reality. Despite the debates, pop culture remains central to modern Japanese life. It's woven into daily routines, business, and even politics. Japanese pop culture brings joy and creativity. It inspires millions at home and abroad. The news is full of stories about young artists finding their voice through manga, or fans making friends at anime expos. Pop culture encourages imagination and self-expression. Many folks see it as Japan's gift to the world. But of course, there are downsides. Idol scandals, overworked animators, and heated censorship debates all make headlines. Some say the pressure to succeed in the pop world is just too high. Others worry about what happens when fantasy replaces real-life connections. The media reports on these problems, sometimes sensationalizing, sometimes digging a little deeper. Fans are aware of both sides. They celebrate the good and debate the bad online. Some start petitions for better working conditions in the anime industry. Others argue for more open-mindedness around controversial stories. The news amplifies these voices, keeping the conversation alive. In the end, pop culture in Japan is a double-edged sword. The media helps us see both its bright lights and its darker corners. Media has enormous power over how we see Japanese pop culture. News stories can make anime, manga, and music seem magical or dangerous. The debates and controversies, the fan reactions, and the global fascination all come to us through screens and headlines. Sometimes, the news helps us understand the real Japan. Other times, it just adds to the drama. As a foreigner living in Japan, I've seen how different the reality is from the headlines. Pop culture here is full of passion and creativity, but it's also shaped by tough challenges and constant change. The media plays a key role, choosing which stories to tell and how to tell them. When we read about Japanese pop culture, it's important to look beyond the drama. We should ask questions, listen to all sides, and remember that real people create these worlds. The news can open our eyes, but it can also close them if we're not careful. In the end, Japanese pop culture will keep surprising us, and the media will keep telling its story, one headline at a time.